fries you can give me. All the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah, in the limit. Yeah, super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That you said you didn't never. I'm a step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. If I stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead presents in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
Over here, empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you to. Get over here. He's gonna get this.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Lucky 56.
They go play action here on first down. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Cut!
Throwing Jones. Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Lucky 56.
They'll try and throw for it here. They shakes it up, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. In for the score. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Well, the defense did their job, and then, boom, a one-play drive. The offense does their job pretty well, too.
Is that called rewarding them and thanking them for what they did? They went right out and put points on the board. Thank you so much for getting us the football.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Jones now throwing again on 2nd and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Jones on 1st and 10. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
Now Jones. Dancing to his left. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Barney. Watch it now, Barney.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Play fake. Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Stay in there. Green, triple team.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. The Giants and Bucs, these two teams, they met in Week 4 last year in Tampa Bay, and it was Nick Folk with a game-winning field goal, 25-23, and at the time, that sent New York to 0-4.
And how about the last 2 to get them to 0-4? Lost on a 61-yard field goal at the buzzer by Philadelphia kicker Jake Elliott, and then they lose this one to Nick Folk in Tampa.
Yeah, and of course everyone knew the rest of the story. A season that Giant fans would like to forget. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Ready.
And they'll run it here. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Ready. Blue lady. Hey, sub. Let's go. Follow.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. The give is to Jones. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Wait. Easy. Let me go. Easy. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Get there. Oh, yeah.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession. Off the play fake, Winston. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there, 22.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got it first and goal at the 7. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Play action now, Winston. And break, the tight end's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Jameis to throw it. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Gone! Watch him now, Barney!
Now it's the backup Lauletta. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
This is third and long. Here's Lauletta. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a fourth down now.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Check
50. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Gallman will run it. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Giants are in for 6. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now a handoff looking right. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And they'll go on the ground. Shreds the tackle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work.
Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short. From the gun, here's Lauletta. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. First target, first catch. Get a first down. Lauletta looking for a first down throw. Being chased out left. And this will be incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
All right, now, look at 56.
Back to the air, Lauletta on second down. Sliding out of the pocket toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Marshall that time, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
No. Check. Patriot.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter. and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
And on the ground they go with the running back. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. So a give to Jones. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. He'll buy some time right. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Second down, Winston. That is incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted, like you said, to pick on the opening drive. Second drive, not much better. On 3rd down, here's Jones. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain. And
did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Now Lawletta on 1st down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On second down, here's Lauletta. Flushed out right. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there of 22. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Golden Tate, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is up to 8. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy.
The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Winston. He's got Evans. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans.
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
Winston breaks a tackle. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he's able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Winston now from the 50. Rolling to his left. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Lauletta after the interception. Flush to his right. It's hauled in by Shepard. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Now it's Lauletta. And Marshall's got it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now we've got a giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
All right, here we go. 319! 319! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
On first down, Lauletta. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Noah Spence. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Back to throw, Lauletta. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. And this is Shepard on the catch. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
3rd and 2, Lauletta. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Lavonte David. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting out and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Bucs on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
3-19!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants add on to their lead. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. They go play action. Winston shakes off the sack. Eluding the pressure right. Now a and I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 3rd and short.
Let's go. It's time to play.
Here's Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. To the 40 and no further. The broken tackle, but then the hole closed quickly. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And fights through one man. Dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Jameis to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Play fake. Winston. Fighting to stay upright. Buying time to his left. And Winston lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants!
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And Lauletta's going to throw it here. Flushed out right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Shepard. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Lauletta. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.